Elizabeth Arden cream.
This one's wife. Why are we seeing more of the kids? Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. Archie and Lilibet are like some mythical creatures, often spoken about, but rarely seen. There was a lot of speculation surrounding their births with regard to the fact that the way that the Sussexes behaved was unconventional. There were many people that believed that this one's wife faked her pregnancies through the use of a moon bump. Some people believe that the children don't exist at all, and that actors are essentially used. Other people's children play the part of Archie and Lilibet. Others accept that they do exist, but that the children were born of surrogacy, and there was something most suspect about the pregnancies. And then there are others that think a lot of that is a load of conspiratorial nonsense, and that she did give birth to the children. We don't see much of them. There has been the occasional appearance, for instance, controlled for the purposes of the Harry and This One's Wife documentary on Netflix that came out in December 2022. Occasional appearances in photographs, although invariably they are from behind, showing the back of the head, and have been subjected to considerable query, as often there appears to have been some kind of involvement by way of Photoshop or AI. Particularly the photograph that was released a little while ago, which purportedly showed the two children greeting their parents, though there were so many deficiencies with the photograph, it was laughable. Nevertheless, they've become something of a rare commodity. However, this has started to shift a little as of late, although we have not seen them in action in terms of fully seeing their faces. We have started to see more of them by virtue of This One's Wife use of Instagram. This has prompted Star Bowenbank to explain This One's Wife is sharing photos of Archie and Lilibet for the most understandable reason. Well, let's find out if this writer for InStyle is actually correct as to why This One's Wife is sharing photographs of the children more often. She writes, This One's Wife and Prince Harry, like other celebrities, have been keeping images of their two children, Archie and Lilibet, very sparse online. But with the launch of This One's Wife's personal Instagram, the Duchess has been given additional glimpses of her brood, much to the delight of royal observers. This One's Wife's reason for posting her and Harry's children, however, isn't just for fans. It actually gives her agency in their protection from the media. Royal expert Jenny Bond explained in an interview with The Mirror that This One's Wife and Harry might be showing more photos of their children in order to have control of the narrative and their image instead of the paparazzi. They are clearly fiercely protective of their children, and I think much of that stems from Harry's experience of having cameras trained on him when he was a little boy and ever since, Bond told the outlet. He showed his contempt for the cameras when he was very young, sticking his tongue out as he sat in the back of a car with his mother. She told him to stop it very quickly. Bond continued, Of course, seeing only glimpses of them makes them even more interesting to the public, and it brings extra attention to whichever video they appear in, which is commercially valuable. Sooner or later, they are bound to release pictures of the children. Otherwise, there's a real danger that paparazzi will follow them until they get what they want, in the hope that a newspaper or magazine somewhere in the world will buy the pictures. Until then, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex will continue to keep Archie and Lilibet out of the limelight and will keep their lives as normal as possible for their safety. I think every parent wants to share their kid with the world, but they just can't, a family friend told Us Weekly back in August 2024. Well, so the suggestion is that it's about ensuring that the paparazzi don't get them. And in effect saying, well, we're going to start sharing more of them now to head the paparazzi off at the pass. But ultimately, I don't think that the paparazzi are that interested, because if they were, they'd have got pictures already. After all, what's Archie 5 and Lilibet's 3, they've been around for a few years, and you would think that given the fact that they're rarely seen, that the paparazzi would have sought to obtain some photographs already, but they haven't. This points to two potential things. There isn't the level of interest in them as you might think, and also I suspect that the paparazzi by law aren't allowed to take photographs of young children, and therefore that's why they've kept away from them. So the suggestion that this one's wife is now slowly but surely showing more of them in order to defeat the paparazzi, well, I don't think that holds. The actual reason why this one's wife is starting to show more of them is linked to her increased use of Instagram. As you know, we saw the video where it was purportedly Lilibet smearing on cream cheese on the bagels, and we saw the back of Archie's head. We purportedly heard Archie's voice where he said, "If you want me to," in relation to watering the flowers. We have heard them talking in the video montage to Guy, the dead beagle. So they have been heard more often. Now, there'll be certain cynics that will say it's not them, it's other children, voices are being added. How do we know it's them actually speaking when you don't see that they are speaking? It could be anybody. Well, those are a certain perspective on it all. But assuming that they are the children, why is it that they're starting to appear a little more often? Two factors. The first, this one's wife increased use of Instagram. Now she's returned to it. As I've explained previously, this is going to be an undoing. Her narcissism can't resist directing her to use it, and it's because other options are dried up for her. She could have returned to Instagram much sooner. After all, she did create the Instagram account, but did nothing with it for maybe at least a year. But she's posting on it now because the traditional routes that she's used in the past to get fuel, to assert control, have started to dry up. This is because less people are going to take on board what she wants to do. It may well coincide with the loss of WME as the agency, so therefore this one's wife simply thinks, I'll do it myself. Remember, she's one that knows best. She's the expert. She's better at anything than anybody else. Furthermore, it's also the fact that her narcissism loves the fact that she's on Instagram because, as I've explained previously, it allows her an almost instantaneous ability to assert control and draw fuel. Something gets under her skin, bang, she can create a video. Threat to control originates, bang, she can create a video. But furthermore, the increased use of the children is because, in effect, they are the last throw of the dice for her. No fashion houses have come along. No cosmetic giants have partnered up with her. Netflix are going to get rid of her. Lemonada, nothing appears to be happening with that. There has been no further interest in her writing, even though there was talk of her prepping a divorce book. She's not been the politician. She's not been the bananatarian. Philanthropy's not really her bag. She wants to be a celebrity. It could be a return to acting, that's a possibility, but she would regard that in a sense as failure because that's where she has come from. Instead, she wants the lifestyle brand, she wants the celebrity, she wants the wealth that comes with all of those things that other people have attained. But for this one's wife, her children aren't her children in the conventional sense, they are commodities. They are there to be used by her for the purposes of an assertion of control, to draw fuel and to monetize them. That she will want to increase interest in her Instagram account with these tempting teasers of the children so that she gets more and more people watching so that she can then look to monetize her Instagram with sponsored posts. The children are simply a commodity to her. They're there to be used. And because other options have dried up for her and because she's becoming increasingly desperate, she's now rolling out the children, as many people predicted she would do so, to use them for her own purposes. That's why you're starting to see more of them. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.